welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes, we did. Allegedly, it's the penultimate episode.
Yes, allegedly.
Yes, that's what they say.
Yeah.
It's the word on the street.
Word on the street. Well, thanks for joining us. If you're just finding us, we are two husbands, and we watch Housewives.
Yeah.
And we talk about it. We try not to recap it, because you just watched it too, right? Mm-hmm. Or maybe you didn't, and you already know what's going on. It's not like a lot changes from episode to episode.
No.
But yeah, like...
Unless you're Salt Lake.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, find us on social media, all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, that's where we're mainly at.
Yes.
Facebook's not hard to find either, at Husbands Watching Housewives.
And maybe one day we'll post again on Blue Social. I posted like once.
Yeah.
And,
we could do that. And then we'll get a TikTok out there.
Well, we never tweet it. Although, do we still have our Twitter?
We do have a Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah. We can, or our Xer. No, I don't know.
No one's Twitter.
Yeah, I've never really been a Twitter person to begin with. Personally, I'm not even on. Never.
Right. Everyone was tweeting up a storm. So, when I become, a politician, no one
right.
I'll have to scrub my Twitter.
Right.
I do think that sometimes I say really dumb thing, or I see dumb memories on Facebook of things I said, and I'm like, that's so lame. Ooh, I love that episode of Scandal, and I'm like, lame.
I go through
not Scandal, not lame, but that comment's lame.
Whenever I see something that kind of is slightly cringy into my memories, I will go through and I'll change the privacy on that, so that every year I'll still see it and go, wow, I was an idiot. But then I at least feel comfortable knowing no one else is seeing it.
Right.
So I'm just like, all right. Because it is a nice slice of life. It's a true thing that happened. And
right.
At the time.
Yeah.
And we used to use social media so differently than we do today. Mm-hmm. It used to be very much about your friends and what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And then as it became just kind of more like what's going on in the world, it became...
And Hunger Games.
And Hunger Games.
I have people just rip each other apart.
Yeah.
I've actually never watched Hunger Games, so I don't know exactly how that phrase...
I think you would enjoy Hunger Games. You should read the books. They're good books.
I don't read. They're I don't read fantasy.
They're not fantasy
or sci-fi.
It's sci-fi dystopian stuff, and
I don't like dystopian as a book. I think it's interesting.
I'm living it. I don't need it.
Yeah, but as a movie, I'm okay with it.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, back to
recommending the book. Yeah. It's a good book. It's a good read. Yeah, this episode, when we sat down, I thought of the fact, I was like, wow, it seems like a lot's going on in this. I wish we could be taking notes, but because we record this video for the podcast on my phone, I'm not going to use a pen and paper. Also, I'm a horrible note taker, just in general. I've never taken notes. I don't go to meetings at work and take notes, and when I do, it ends up just being a collection of squiggles.
I always bring a notepad as if I'm going to take notes. I never take notes.
Yeah, exactly. I end up making little geometric doodles, and that's the whole 9 yards. So, because I think at the beginning of the episode, there was a lot to unpack, but as we got through the episode, I think it was just the same thing over and over and over again, which isn't bad. I enjoy the same thing because it's attempting to hold Sutton's feet to the fire.
I am not going to apologize anymore.
Yeah. What do you want from me? Woman, I want you to take some accountability. That's all I wanted any of them to say was just we want you to take some accountability for the fact that what we're saying isn't entirely untrue. And I know we're just jumping straight through it, but
let's go start from the
beginning.
Yeah.
But what happened? Can you remember what happened at the beginning of the episode?
I always can when you ask this thing of me.
Well, name it.
Name. Yeah. So what had happened was they were all getting ready for dinner, basically, because we ended on the cliffhanger of Sutton just wants to be friends with everybody. Sutton is whiplash in the form of a person. I want to be friends. I hate these bitches. I want to be friends. I hate these bitches. I don't understand. I want Kyle to be my best friend, but then I rail against her. She just makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I will never be able to wrap my head around Sutton Struck. But yeah, so they get ready to go to this dinner. Everyone's wearing white, getting their tracks put in. And they all,
Kyle and Garcelle wore the same dress.
Right.
Yeah.
A flashback of Rinna and Kyle wearing the same dress. They should have flashed back to Rinna and Erika wearing the same dress, but they're like, no, too much Rinna.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Kyle wore it better. I think the fringe on the dress, was a lot more, or ruffles, whatever you want to call it. I think it was more proportionate to, her frame and everything. Whereas it just, I think on Garcelle, it just didn't look as elegant, I don't think.
No, it was more just like a beach dress on Garcelle. Yeah. She's worn better. Like she's worn like, I think 2 episodes ago, I was like, I think when she went to dinner with Dorit, she looked great.
Oh yeah.
You know, she's looked pretty good this season as opposed to, that's why it was so funny when she said, I once called out Kyle's fashion. They do the flashback. And it's like, pot meet kettle. Like you just now this season, 3-4 seasons in, stepped up your game, and now you're all like acting like I'm the greatest. You know, I think that they're all. I think Garcelle and Kyle both have great style. I think though that they're different, and that's all. It's the same way Sutton undeniably has a style. It's quirky and it appeals. It's offbeat, and I think it appeals to a lot of people, but it's not for everyone. I'm tired of that yellow dress confessional with her like Sabrina Carpenter hair. it's bugging me.
Okay.
Like she should have shot more confessionals.
Maybe she did, and they just weren't good.
Like same with like Kyle and that ugly, like with that wig and like
the brown sequin dress,
the askew wig, and like it's not a good look.
Yeah,
like she should have just stuck to like that black and white top with her hair pulled back on the pony.
They're adventurous, but yeah, I think for Garcelle to say though that Sutton has that Kyle has questionable style is like, what are you talking about? Like Kyle is impeccable with her style, and I just think it kind of borders more on the relaxed kind of hippie bohemian sort of stuff sometimes.
Yeah, Kyle used to do like the first couple seasons. Kyle would wear caftans like nobody's business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, always in the caftans. I think she's definitely like stepped it up, and her changed her sense of style and a bit, and so I think it works for her. I loved that outfit she wore to Dorit's 4th of July party. That was my favorite.
I'm not remembering it right now.
It was like blue jean material and like the red high heels. And anywho.
So at dinner, what happens? Also for at dinner, they order and everything, and then it's just Kathy Hilton eating dessert right off the bat.
I think it was just gone on so long. We forget these dinners are like 5 hours. Like my butt would fall asleep.
But I kept wondering if it was like they inserted the Kathy stuff out of order, because like no one had food, but Kathy was eating, or unless she's just like, my blood sugar is low, or she was doing the thing she's doing on the boat. Does anyone have any fruit? Can you get me fruit? She just had herself a parfait,
like a nectarine,
a pre-dinner parfait or something.
Basically, so like Dorit just starts in,
right.
She's like, Sutton, I want to talk about the whole thing, and and you being mean to me, and Sutton gets defensive, but then like actually is like, I want to apologize, and Dorit won't hear it, and it's like, dude, you're getting what you wanted, but you're not hearing it. But then we know it makes sense because Dorit's like, I don't believe it, so that's why I'm choosing to like just bulldoze past this.
Well, and I don't think it is. I think based especially on what Dorit was saying, that like, you've had 3 weeks to apologize to me, and now you're only now doing it when I bring it up. Like, how genuine of an apology could that possibly be? And so, no, I get it, and I think it was even you were like kind of yelling at this TV, like, just accept it, move on. But I was kind of like, no, don't accept it, and I forgot what was coming at the end of the episode. But I think Sutton needs to be held accountable for like. I don't think that Sutton's doing anything intentionally malicious, but I think that she just keeps coming at people, and then when people come back at her or people push back at all, she just gets immediately defensive and refuses to even consider that what someone else is saying might actually be true.
There's just a way of like asking questions without seeming, like a jerk about it.
Right.
And I think you have to be friends with the person first in order for it to work. And she's not.
Right.
And so all these instances, it's just, she wasn't working as a friend.
Yeah.
She might have been like, I'm at your party, I'm your friend, I love you, Erika. But she was like, I'm going to not take her down. But she's like, I think if we speak to the Erika situation specifically, she thought, in my opinion, that Erika knew about everything with Tom, and she, like, that's why she was questioning it. Like, of course you knew. Of course you're guilty. Of course you used this money to propel your career. You knew it was blood money, whatever. And she was going to hold Erika to the fire because she didn't want to look like she was colluding with a woman who would do something like this.
Right.
She wanted to be the innocent one, and like really like she was the judge and jury that season. So I mean, you kind of after that, I would always keep one eye open with you.
And it's a miracle that Erika can even move past what Sutton did. But I think Erika also understands it was, I mean, despite her joke at the end where I'm special, you know, but it was a special circumstance. Not everyone goes through that, and that's extremely heightened and, you know, isn't necessarily an everyday event. So I think Erika can move past that. I think that's great that she can. But I don't know, like, Sutton just can't acknowledge that she is coming for people at all, period. And she's like, no, I'm just asking questions. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're asking inappropriate questions if you're really trying to be friendly.
It's not about it. It's just for the sake of the show.
Yeah.
It's all about
I think what was interesting, though, was with the whole Dorit Sutton apology back and forth was that, you know, at least Dorit was like, you know, I think had you not called me a bitch, I would have apologized. I would have been in the moment, I would have said, okay, that was a little harsh, whatever. But you went to insulting me in my own home.
Right.
That's the sort of accountability that I think I like to hear when these housewife spats happen, is that someone saying, yeah, I played a part in this, and yeah, you know, I would have, but, you know, if you're not going to take ownership of it, at least give a reason why. And Sutton's not doing that. She's just getting upset and, you know, calling people names.
Yeah, that's like you were gleeful at the caviar party when you know, threw the wallet thing out there. Yeah, you wanted to embarrass her in front of the table. You wanted to hurt her. And so now I'm supposed to like just, you can't walk it back.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Dorit was also right that the only reason she apologized is that she wanted the women to hear it. And so she didn't want to look tacky with the rest of the group. And then Erika brought that up again later that like, you know, if she was really apologetic, she wouldn't have brought it up again as a show to make sure everyone knew.
Well, also too, it's like you go from in Vegas, was it Vegas?
Wherever, but
where they wrapped their hands and like, I'm there for you. I'll, you know,
that was San Diego.
San Diego, thank you. I'll be there for you through this divorce, and then like an hour later, ripping her head off in the back of the limo.
To me, it seems that her fine Southern manners require that she show a support for all her friends, and it's sort of like what's the right thing to do versus what do I want to do. And so I think Sutton finds herself making a show of supporting because that's the right thing to do, but it's not naturally what she wants to do.
No.
And so it's like, you know, it's like, I don't know.
Well,
it's like if someone you're not necessarily close with, you know, like a barely acquaintance, you know, someone close to them dies. You're not going to be a heartless monster and be like, oh, okay. You're going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry that so-and-so died. That, you know, I'm here for you if you need anything, da-da-da-da. You're going to say it, but like you never expect them to call you and be like, you know, I am having a rough time and you offered help. Like Sutton sounds like that's what she's doing in all these cases, and she just never really truly means it.
Because I think at the end of the day, she thinks that they're beneath her. That's what it comes down to it. Like she showed, as they say, she showed her ass with that wallet comment.
Yeah.
That's how she feels. I am up here, Dorit, and you are down there.
So then what is it about?
Same with Erika. You are the trash who married like this old dude to get the money. You're the gold digger. And I did it the right way by marrying, you know, the rich guy who's around my age and whatever. We had a, you know, different divorce. But like you were the trash who knew about the blood money. And, you know, you're the Anna Nicole, basically. Like she thinks that, I don't know how she feels about Kyle.
That's what I say. So like
Kyle's the exception.
Well, is that why, like, why does she want to be friends with Kyle? Because Kyle actually has money. Kyle doesn't have this.
Kyle's the queen bee of the show.
Well, besides that though, I mean.
Yeah, but no, Kyle has money. Like she, you know, the agency, whatever, like she has a prominent role in this Beverly Hills society.
And she's related
by way of
Kathy.
Casino. Yeah, she's related to Kathy, yes.
So, yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Kathy adjacent.
That is interesting. I do I mean, hats off to the editors when they showed Sutton kind of making googly eyes at Kyle.
That was
like, oh, batting eyelashes.
Me.
Yeah.
Like, she accepted me.
I can't say that I don't love watching Garcelle point all these things out. Like, I mean, I don't feel bad for Garcelle. Like, I don't think Garcelle feels that bad about it, but I do feel like it's interesting to see Sutton just kind of, now that she doesn't need Garcelle, she kind of is leaving her behind in circuit.
She will always need Garcelle because she will never truly be friends with those women like the way she is with Garcelle.
Well, so assuming she's even really friends with Garcelle.
Well,
more so than the rest.
I don't know. I go back and forth. Like, it's a great alliance or it's a true friendship. It's a friendship out of convenience because they weren't accepted into the cool girls club or whatever, you know.
All I can say is that when it comes down to the whole, with the end of it, where, you know, Sutton's being piled on, and Garcelle points out that, like, you know, normally I would come and, you know, try to defend her a little bit, but like she didn't do that for me last night, so I'm just gonna let her sort this out herself.
That was so petty. If that's really your friend, you would be like, hey, guys, this is too much. But that was truly, like, 3 against 1.
I think you're being too nice. I mean, Garcelle told her that morning what her problem, that night before, and the next morning what her problem was, and Sutton didn't want to listen.
But they were cool. Had they not had that conversation the next morning, then I would see, like, leave her hanging out to dry. But they were like, you know, this would bother me. Like, okay. And they got to a cool place, and then this blows up, and she's like, you're on your own, chica.
I don't know. I'm kind of there for it. On top of it, though.
No, I don't mind it. I'm just saying, like, it was petty behavior.
I'm there for it. On top of that, though, she pointed out that, you know, everyone was piling on. No one stood up for Sutton. Like,
on the boat,
Tilly didn't stand up for her. Kathy didn't stand up for her until she left crying.
Yeah.
And then Kyle kind of started to a little bit. No one on the boat was just like, no, Sutton doesn't mean, like, no one was trying to explain Sutton's behavior. And I think Tilly not doing it, if they're truly close friends, to me means they know that Erika was right.
Yes. Well, also Tilly, like, did it at the white dinner party. The dinner the night before. She was like, no, I think, you know, Sutton, when, like, Sutton was apologizing to Dorit. I think Tilly's like, I can only do this so many times, and I don't really know of the circumstance with Erika. I can only talk about what's going on with Dorit, that current thing.
Yeah.
So I think she's like, I'm just gonna see, and then she made that dumb joke. I'm like, girl, no.
Yeah, that was bad timing. I don't make dumb timing jokes like that.
Yeah, like she was... That's not a good moment. No.
But
but going back a second to the
to Erika pulling out her tracks, and Beau's being thoroughly disgusted by it.
It's just hair. It's not her real hair.
I know, but I just love that she points out, like, this is the first, you know, the second time I've seen a white woman do this. But then just the look on her face as she does it again was just like, what are you doing? That just leave it alone.
I can see, like, Kathy doing it at the dinner party. Or I want to keep saying dinner party, doing it at the dinner table. But, like, Erika was like, we're on the couch. Right. Here's the coffee table. And, like, yeah, Beau's was so disgusted.
Yeah, Beau's looked at Erika the way you look at me if I floss on the couch.
Well, that's another story.
No, it's not. We're married. You know what? Intimacy. We should be able to be naked and flossing wherever we want to be.
Naked and flossing the dance?
No, flossing my teeth.
I feel like you floss naked in front of me.
I think I have, and I will never do that again.
No, it was good. It was good. No, I was going to say what drove Garcelle to, like, the petty place with Sutton not sticking up for her, the Morgan of it all.
Oh, right.
Like, at the dinner table. Like, you know, Kyle is not... Okay, let me go back a second, because I don't want to be a total Kyle apologist. I understand...
Why start now?
Yeah. I understand you're on this reality show, and everyone should show their reality, and it seems as if there's something going on between Morgan and Kyle, and she doesn't want to bring Morgan up, doesn't want to say her name. I get that too. So I can see Garcelle's point of view of, like, we're supposed to be friends, I want to be closer to you, but I feel like you're hiding something from me. However, I also see the side of Kyle of, I've told you there's nothing to tell you, and if there was, I wouldn't tell you.
Right.
or this group specifically. But also, I don't want to bring Morgan up, whatever. I know we did the whole thing in the press and the music video, and we poked fun at the rumors, whatever. But like, that's whatever's going on between Morgan and Kyle is her story to tell. And she was not going to bring it. She was not going to like have some big confession. Like the Garcelle thing, she was going to say, you know what, Garcelle, you're right.
But I think Garcelle has a point though, because
no, I do. I agree. She has a point.
She has a very good point in that, like, if she like, how can Garcelle genuinely like be in? I'm not even phrasing this right. How can Garcelle engage with Kyle about things that Kyle actually is interested in talking about if she won't talk about the thing she's interested in talking about? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if the thing other than Mo right now and the kids and the family breakup, if the other thing that's happening in her life that's actually giving her some sort of peace or sanity is off limits to talk about, then how can they actually talk about anything that Kyle cares about? But for that to work, it would have to mean that Morgan is actually her girlfriend. And Kyle has said there's nothing there. So it may be like a lot of people bring Kyle joy. Like she's very close to Teddy and like and Faye and whatever and Justin Sylvester. So like I understand what you're saying there, but like I feel for her, it's not a thing. So you have to accept this is not a thing. Yeah, but
unless you're going to be bold and just say like, are you in a relationship with Morgan? Yes or no?
I think what I'm gathering, and so two things. I am half confused because Garcelle kept making it seem like she and Morgan were in the news left and right, and I'm like, I don't remember that happen. Not that,
that they're chasing paparazzi.
Right. I don't. Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts is a married mother who does movies here or there. She's not. This is not Julia Roberts circa 1997.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but
there's no story there.
I would still think that they would follow her more than Kyle. I mean,
no, I love Julia Roberts, but like she's not doing anything.
Right.
You know, Julia Roberts back when she was married to Kiefer, and then she dumped him for Jason Patrick.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the era. That's the pinnacle of Julia Roberts too.
Not the pinnacle, but that's like, paparazzi at your front door.
Yeah.
Or marrying Lyle Lovett.
I mean, I guess Kyle does put her in herself in situations, and not intentionally, but like that are attractive to the paparazzi.
Yeah. Also, Julia Roberts is like living in New Mexico. Like, come on.
That's true. So, but where was I going with that? Oh, so I mean, I can see what Garcelle's saying, though. If you assume that Kyle's really spending a lot of time with Morgan and they just can't talk about it,
right,
then that is a little, I wouldn't say unfair, but it makes it a little difficult to actually try to connect with someone. It'd be like if you and I, the stupid analogy, I know we shouldn't use analogies on Housewives, let alone Housewives podcasts, but it'd be like you and I can talk about anything, but we can't talk about work.
Right.
And it's like, well, work's a big part of your life. Like, how am I supposed to, and you come home pissed off and I can't ask you, what are you pissed off about? Because I know it's work, that sort of thing. Right. So it's the same thing. Kyle might be like, and maybe even off camera, like when the cameras aren't up, might be saying like, oh, if it weren't for Morgan, da-da-da-da-da. And then when the cameras come on, they can't talk about it. Mm-hmm. I do think it's fair, and I do think it's excusable to a point, the fact that at the beginning of the season, Kyle said, I'm not saying her name. She's asked not to be talked about on camera. I'm trying to respect that.
Yeah.
And kind of saying to the women, I wish you would too. I think that sets the tone, but at the same time, it doesn't make it any less of a bummer to have to play by these rules. And also, why do they have to respect Kyle's wishes on that when everyone else is supposed to give a lot? That being said, Erika was dead on right.
Yes.
That no one knows who Garcelle's screwing.
Nope. I love maybe she peaked in the 90s.
Yeah.
Maybe she did because Garcelle has never shown that side of herself. She only talks about her ex-husband.
Yeah. And if you were to probably ask her why, she would probably say, well, I don't want to put my laundry out in front of with my kids, watching. Things like that.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's necessarily, excuses it. But at the same time, I get what she's saying.
Right.
So, yeah. But also, I did enjoy what Sutton said, and I think it to be somewhat genuine, that like she said, I do hope you have something nice to tell us.
Yes.
That, like,
that was, yes.
When you're able to talk about it, I hope you have good things to tell us.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too, like how they had like a little bit of a fight, a little tiff. Garcelle and Sutton about you just want to be close to Kyle, and like it was so like I've been there for you and I've had your back and you like left me hanging, and then like I don't know, Garcelle, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep, but I think, I don't know, it's the one time I think Garcelle said something not in her confessional. Like she didn't say
right.
Confessional. She actually said
finally,
and then again later to Kyle what she said to Kyle about Morgan. But like, I don't know. I think Sutton couldn't even acknowledge that like she really has some sort of need to get Kyle's approval.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I don't know why she needs it so much, and then doesn't. Like, it's just so interesting.
Yeah, and then like I think Garcelle even brought up, and they showed the footage of like the previous season where Sutton was going for Kyle the whole time, and like trying, they were doing that when Erika was making her points about
that. Erika had like all the receipts laid out.
Yeah. I mean, Erika is not wrong.
No.
And again, I think all any of them want is for Sutton to take some sort of accountability. So I'm sure if Teddy were feeling better,
Teddy's just like going to climb up on that boat like, I'm here.
He would have swam out there.
Right. I'm all in.
So.
Yeah. So, yeah. Then basically the other thing, it's just really trial at sea and her freaking out and, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, she doesn't do herself any favors when, I don't know, it's one of those things like when someone calls you self-centered, you can't defend yourself by saying, I'm not self-centered, because then anything you bring up about yourself just makes you sound self-centered.
Yeah.
So she can't very well say, like, I don't make myself a victim, while she's completely crying about making herself a victim.
Right. Well, also, too, like the whole, like, you said women as like.
Yeah. And then Erika had it right, though. She's like, who do you think I meant? And she's just like, I'm not arguing semantics here. Like, I'm
not talking about like Condoleezza Rice.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. I'm not talking about, the women of the world. I'm talking about the women on this boat. Like the people, the things that I've witnessed.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. That's what I liked about Dorit's situation. Her apology was like, or her comeback was, I might have apologized if you hadn't called me a bitch. She at least took ownership that like she said something nasty and I da-da-da-da-da. Sutton can't even say like, okay, I hear what you're saying and you're saying I did this 3 times. Maybe there is something to it. Or even acknowledge a little inkling of, okay, yeah, maybe I've done things that aren't the best, said the best, and then that's all she needed to do.
But instead, she got all like pouty, like, nope, I want to I want to put us on ice. I'm done. And like storms off.
And she just gets nasty again.
Yes.
Especially when they're showing, they called her out on the whole sisterhood thing, and even defended her. Kyle defended her a little bit about like, and they were saying, no, she was serious about the sisterhood thing. I get what she was trying to do, and then she just goes off and storms away.
Yeah, I think, on the boat, Kyle was like, I can't defend this anymore.
And none of them could defend that. And
it's funny how like Bose was like very quiet the whole time. Well, she didn't really have anything to like throw in there, but she could in her confessional, she was saying like, I don't understand why she's so upset.
Right. Well, then even said that, like, she just sees Sutton turning nasty. And, like, she's like, yeah, I don't think I like this. So.
Like, Sutton was, like, so pissed off. Like, another, like, wallet-like comment would have come out real quick if she hadn't walked off.
She went into the cabin and brought out the F and C. And she wasn't talking about the ocean with that C. I get it. S-E-A instead of C next to. Get it? Get it?
Are you talking about it?
No, I'm rolling the ocean. Anyway,
roll it with the me.
Yeah. So I feel like your tiredness is.
Oh my God! I just hit the wall.
You really did in the middle of all of this.
Like my eyes, I'm like, why are my eyes hurting?
Because
so much?
you were up since 3 a.m.
Well, so what happened is that I don't know why, but out of nowhere, I like woke up it was like 1:30. I was like, oh no, it's 1:30. This is not right. So I get back to sleep, and then it's 2:55, and I'm like, oh, I'm awake again. And I go to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh crap, I can't go back to sleep. And so yeah, I think I got maybe 3 hours tops.
Well, I think you've done a good job faking it.
The whole like work day and all that entailed, and then like watching the show, and now I don't know why I'm just like, oh crap, there's that wall, I hit it.
Well, now you know how I feel on Sundays, although I have no reason to feel that way on Sundays. So. But okay, well, we should probably wrap this up then.
Yeah, I think we talked about everything.
We talked about everyone, I think, and everything, and I think we made it very clear that Sutton needs to take some accountability.
And I'm clearly thinking she will not.
Yeah. I feel the need, and I meant to bring it up earlier, but you changed the subject. I feel the need to declare, and I'll declare it again on our next episode, that I'm going to stop harping on Shamia's short hair.
Oh, gosh.
I feel bad. I like our commenter has pointed out to me a couple times, and I'm just like, you know what? I got to get over this shit. It's not the big... I'm fine with it. I just got to get used to people's different looks. That's all. That's all I got to do. So.
Same. It'll grow on us, I think. And, it's... Yes, we're going to stop talking.
And also, I think part of it for me, though, is also, like, I'm not used to seeing people be able to change their hair so dramatically from look to, day to day or, season
day to night.
Yeah, because I'm not, honestly, watching Beverly Hills, we don't have the best, the variety of black women on there who, do have the wigs and things like that. Not that these white women don't have
wigs. Not that there's not doing a bunch of different hairstyles like they do in Atlanta.
Right. And even Potomac, I guess Potomac does too.
They do. Ashley will like...
Oh, Ashley.
I think Ashley... Yeah, so I think Ashley's done like I think it was at the dog fashion show, Ashley like changed wigs during the night. And I was like, what?
Yeah. So again, it's the same way that Bose was like, white women taking out their extensions. What's going on? I'm still just taking it back like, what? Huh? Yeah.
She really narrowed her eyes like, what are you doing?
Again, she looked so disturbed by it. Like
keep that in your head until cameras go down and you're in your room.
To me, it was almost like in my head, like Bose was giving her the look that as if she was like eating like a cartoon fish. She pulled the fish out of her mouth. It was just like the bones. And just threw it on the couch. And she's like, ew, what is that?
Or she was like clipping her toenails.
Oh, even that I would never do.
Not in Beverly Hills.
No,
or St. Lucia.
I'll bite my fingernails apparently to a nub. But oh, you probably want to go to sleep, don't you? Are you tired?
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, and we'll catch everybody next time.
Until next time.